playing one of the better teams in the country, they've got to be at their best.
Yes, and Pepperdine brought it in the 5-set match at Pepperdine earlier this past weekend, and they had strong serving and blocking that helped them pull out that match win.
So the Gauchos go into the net to kick things off. Backdoor for Bruining. He's denied. The two-person block sends it back where it came from. That's James Eady and Jose Gomez.
And Coach Winder talked to us about how their block is one of their strengths, and when they're on, they can shut down teams. So that's a great start for the Waves.
Into the net it goes, and a much-needed side out for UC Santa Barbara to get the Gauchos on the board. That'll bring Cole Schobel back there. You know, Schobel, the center for UC Santa Barbara, and his second year with the Gauchos, he runs a dynamic offense.
And Schobel last match had 4 kills of his own, along with 36 assists.
Into the center, and they engage James Eady.
And this was a tough serve, controlled well by the Waves. A great way to establish the middle early there.
Fireball to the back line. It just misses long. UC Santa Barbara will have Riggs Guy back there after the second service error of the evening for Pepperdine. Guy, the 6'3" sophomore, last year an All-Big West freshman team honor. Riley picked up the serve receive to the outside and swirled back down where it came from, 3-3 even.
And that was Raglan Kier, or excuse me, Mikey Denver, one of the Santa Barbara locals who finished off that block for the Gauchos.
Yeah, different starting unit this evening for UC Santa Barbara than we've seen through the first stretch of the year. Tied at the net, 3-person block recycled through. Opposite end, it's saved from sailing. Ryan Barnett, the All-American, swings high over hands. Schobel center for Riggs Guy, who snuck it through the seam.
And a really energetic start for the Gauchos, using all of their options here, really hiding this back row attack. Riggs Guy able to sneak it through the block.
It was a great matchup the last time these two teams met. Went the full distance, 5 sets. Pepperdine would win 15-5 as Guy sails this ball just a twirl long, one rotation beyond that end line. But this Pepperdine team has a whole heap of All-Americans from last year that they return. That said, one new setter in Andre Polamaz, who is now running the offense. And Ethan Saint denied on the outside by one of those All-Americans, Cole Hartke. He's just a sophomore, but boy, he plays much larger than life.
Hartke last match led the team with 23 kills on 40 attempts, hit .425, so he is going to get a lot of action tonight.
Gauchos now engaging the bit. We've seen that back row attack a couple of times.
Yeah, Riggs Guy is on fire right now, and they are continuing to get him the ball.
5-level first set. Back to serve, it's Mikey Denver. Polamaz into the center. The recoil gives the Gauchos a chance, and Denver laced it through.
And that was Dylan Pilkvist doing it all. He got a solo block early on in that rally and then earns the kill. So a great look from the freshman.
That's a good note, Katie. It was the other middle blocker, Pilkvist. Great note. Schobel somehow popped that up. Saint wins the joust.
And a smart play from Saint. Feeling comfortable out there. He played club volleyball with Riggs Guy for Balboa Bay. So there's a lot of connections on the floor. A lot of these players coming out of Balboa Bay for the Gauchos.
And that was punched through on the other end by Ryan Barnett, the redshirt senior out of Long Island. He's a fifth-year guy with these Pepperdine Waves. It starts with building culture, and Ryan Barnett epitomizes what it means to be a Wave. And
Coach Winder said that he really had to work his way into the lineup, and he portrays that hard work, perseverance that he wants the culture to be. So a great leader for this squad. Earned him a first-team All-American nod last season. Bruning steps into one and connects. And that's going to be the key tonight for the Gauchos. If Schobel is able to connect with Bruning, that is when this team sees success. Well, Schobel and Bruning were also a couple of players that played for that Balboa Club team under head coach Andy Reid, not the Chiefs head coach, the coach of Balboa Bend. Schobel, Bruning, through the crease and popped up high. That was Harkey who got there, and then Schobel connects with the left-handed cut. And there was no one up on that play. Kind of surprising after Schobel earned 4 kills in their last matchup. He loves this attack. Very aggressive player, dominant left hand. He does bring an extra dynamic to this offense for UC Santa Barbara. Flung backdoor and denied. And it looks like there was a block from the Gauchos. I'm not sure if there was a net violation, but the play will stay with a point for the Gauchos. Well, it certainly fell in off the hands of Ethan Saint. Dylan Pilkvist also in the vicinity. Heck of a block for UCSB, who was out to this early lead. And it looks like Coach Winder is going to challenge. It did seem to be that Saint's arms came into the net after that block. UC Santa Barbara with a heck of a lead early to set the tone at home. This is against number 6 Pepperdine, who beat the Gauchos in 5 sets on Valentine's Day. Here's another look. So watch Saint, his hands actually come down and tag the top of the tape after he blocks. Great press for him. So that play should go to the Waves. Yeah, Saint, one of those players who was initiated into this starting lineup with Mikey Denver today. And we've often seen other different looks. Sometimes it's Ben Pearson, sometimes it's Josh Arroyo in the middle. But a new starting rotation, still trying to feel things out prior to Big West play. And that usually is what we see from UCSB, a very deep lineup. Rick McLaughlin comfortable using a lot of different players and seeing how they respond to playtime. We'll see how down referee Tony Chan responds to this. Rick Olmstead is your head official in the chair this evening. Along the lines, Laura Janich and Logan Chan. Wednesday night in Santa Barbara here in the Thunderdome. Just the second season for the Gauchos, as this is their home floor now. Used to be across the street at Robb Gymnasium, where we've had a couple matches this season. The call, a net violation on Santa Barbara. Pepperdine earns the point and a 2-point swing just like that. And it will be Ryan Barnett to serve up. He's got an unbelievable serve from back there. 47 aces last season. Incredible. And last matchup, he had 3 aces, so definitely a threat for the Gauchos. That was one of the reasons why Pepperdine was able to tally away and take a couple of blowout sets. Oh, the screamer drops down. Pepperdine pulls within striking distance. And let's see where he goes with this serve. It seems like he's targeting Ethan Saint. That one sailed a bit long, and the Gauchos with the side out, catch a breather. What a strong challenge from Coach Jonathan Winder.
What could have been a 4-point deficit now seems a little bit more manageable. Popped up, it hit the rafters. It stays alive, and that's Walmer who pokes it over. Over high hands, Schobel got his palm on it. He takes a free swing, reached back, that's Hartke who got there. Gomez hits the antenna, and the Gauchos by 3 at this point, 11-8.
And the Gauchos in good rhythm there, some defense that kept that ball alive, and that's something that Coach Winder pointed out. UCSB very tough defensively. They're never gonna let the ball drop.
Just missed a roll too long. We've seen some aggressive serving early on between these two sides. That'll bring William Whitten back there to serve.
And a really good read on the block. They saw that Riggs guy was going to go with the tip and try to tool their block, so they made sure to press that right hand back into the court.
Walmer the serve receive. A cross-court heave in search of Riggs guy. A little too strong, and we're tied at 11. Gauchos get Whitten off the service line after a 3-point run.
And it'll be Dylan Pilkvist, just a freshman, but he's found his way into this starting lineup, and he's been very consistent.
Pilkvist floats it over. Got back and missed everything. Tried to target that deep court.
Another look here, just a little too much heat out of Barnett.
Keeps Pilkvist back at the line. Rolled over the tape and kept alive. Saint got his hands on it.
Wow, Riggs guy, just absolute limbo magician there. Pepperdine tried to do the same thing to keep that ball alive. They ended up hitting the antenna on this attack. That set pushed too wide.
You know, we don't see that replay right there. I'm not sure how Riggs guy found that angle. It looked like it nearly grazed the antenna, but now the Gauchos by 3 once again. Nice serve receive. Oh, the soft tap. A little marshmallow touch will do the trick into the ring of fire.
And a great changeup from Hartke, 6'11", usually bringing that heat. Tips it right in front of the defense.
Nearly 4.5 kills per set for Cole Hartke this season. Makes it look easy. Lace to the center, and Mikey Denver has a connection with Cole Schobel.
And I love that play. Not the perfect pass. Schobel pushed off of the net, but he finds Denver in the air. That's what the Gauchos need to establish those middles so it opens up their pin hitters.
Bruining found another crease.
An impressive angle.
2005, one of the freshmen on that team, Jonathan Winder, who went on to win a couple titles of his own and now coaches across the net of Coach Rick McLaughlin. Right now, the seniority reigns king as Coach Rick McLaughlin and UC Santa Barbara have pieced together a 5-point lead and another strike out of that timeout break.
And Bruning doing a great job at changing up his sharp angle with his deep angle. The connection is there as Schobel whips one into the air just long. And it'll be Jose Gomez out of Trinidad, Cuba. Played for the Cuban national team.
Sophomore with 5 aces this season. That's a home run.
And in comes Ford Harmon, local product out of Santa Barbara High. He's an amazing indoor and beach player. I actually coached him on the beach when he was younger, so he's going to come in to stabilize the passing for the Waves.
As a redshirt last year, part of a team that won a national championship in Long Beach, really didn't have any playing time, then comes back to this Pepperdine squad, and now a homecoming this evening. Good opportunity for Harmon to make his presence felt. Ethan Saint, a crusher to the seam.
And Ethan Saint is such a flowy player. It feels like when he gets that set, he can really go anywhere. This time he's going with the ball down the line.
That whippy arm converts once again. Opposite end, and Barnett denied for the recycle. Now he swings free over high hands. Bruining kind of pace. Schobel hits the center. It's popped up again by the setter that time in Polomas. To the outside, and it stays alive through Mikey Denver. Now it's Saint. He's rejected. Another chance out of system. Line and Pepperdine on the move. Barnett, he's denied. Oh, what a rally. Gauchos now have a chance at a clean look. It's Saint. Sharp angle and wide.
And what a rally. Both sides just having great moments and out of control moments, but the Waves able to stick it out, and great cover defense from Ford Harmon keeping that ball alive.
That's one that Ethan Saint don't like back, but it forced the Pepperdine Waves. They sent it over free. It forced the Gauchos out of the system. Schobel to Bruining to get it back, and that stays high. Barnett with the yellow light cut. Gauchos on the move, and Pilkvist can't straighten things out.
And I really like that decision to go to Pilkvist. That set looks a little low to me, and it looks like he tried to do too much from a low arm.
Well, Pepperdine now surging. Cole Harkey.
Wow.
High line for Ethan Saint.
And Ethan Saint skying, hitting over much taller blockers there.
No fear. Saint is here. Gauchos 5 points away from a set one. Bruining coming off 15 kills last game against Pepperdine. He sails it long.
So Ryan Barnett, one of the strongest servers for Pepperdine, back on the line. Looking to make a push in this first set as Pepperdine has trailed.
I'd say objectively one of the strongest servers in the nation. Rolled over the tape, and it gives the Gauchos a chance. Free through Saint. He's got blocked. Quick set to Pilkvist. That timing is just not.
Pilkvist is ready to go, but it's not quite in the window he wants it to be.
Back to Barnett.
Good pass.
Schobel, the left-handed dump.
So Schobel 2 for 2 now with no blockers up. So they are respecting the hitters, and Schobel finds his window.
Now it's Saint again. Came up short, gave Pepperdine a gift and a chance to go on a run here. Waves have all the firepower to make this thing interesting late in the first set.
And here's Aiden Toon out of Honolulu, Hawaii, out of Punahou, and his dad, Rick Toon, is the head coach at Punahou and well known on the island.
We know the effect that volleyball has on the culture on that island. As Toon pops it up.
And that's a huge play for the Waves, so good.
Battled back. Things are getting interesting.
Yeah, the Gauchos hitting 200, Pepperdine hitting just .043, but they have had some crucial plays late in this first set. And here's Aiden Toon, who has come in to serve and play defense.
Schobel in search of Riggs' guy, who evades the hands, but it stays with the Waves. Mazer is blocked, and the three-person wall shows up when they need it most. You know, we talked to Coach Jonathan Winder before the action today. We said, what were your takeaways from that Saturday action? And he said, some of the things they did on defense really threw us for a loop, and it started with the three-person block.
Yeah, that bunch read defense that the Gauchos play. So they usually try to commit three blockers to the hitter, and then they have their pins scoot in, playing some great defense. And they just have that scrappy mentality that the Gauchos are known for.
Well, with Pepperdine trailing just one. Schobel, the dump is clean.
Wow, and again, no blocker up. So Schobel 3 for 3 now on his attack. And Pepperdine's gonna wanna make some changes there.
Cole Schobel, you mentioned, Katie, with 3 kills, 8 assists through this first set. You know, both teams still trying to find their groove early on. Schobel, as a setter, allows this offense to be so much more dynamic. And then him being active offensively, not just dishing it out, but being a threat, killing the ball as well. I think it allows teams, well, it forces teams to not really wait back on the block. And that's a big reason why he's in the starting lineup for UC Santa Barbara. They haven't gone a different direction all season. It's been all Cole Schobel.
Yeah, it not only, you know, adds to their kill count, it basically makes it so teams have to respect him as an attacker and not just bank on him going to his other 2 hitters when he is in the front row. So it really should open up his hitters to have less blockers matched up with them.
Well, that's exactly what we've seen, and Schobel has taken advantage of it. Transferred over 2 years back, Schobel came from Loyola, Chicago, where he split time in a 6-2 rotation. Now he's the primary feed for UC Santa Barbara, up by 2 in set 1 against Pepperdine. Schobel, ball in hand, 23-21, first set of action. The setter delivers. Through the seam and down, Cole Hartke.
And the perfect pass started with Ford Harmon out of Santa Barbara, and he'll go back to serve.
Santa Barbara native.
And the Gauchos had all 3 options, even 4 with that back row attack. Perfect pass.
Pepperdine with a chance to slow things down. Now 2 straight points after that timeout. Walmer the serve receive. Gauchos need one desperately, and Ethan Saint comes through.
And Schobel goes right back to Ethan Saint after that error, and a good connection here. He finds the seam in the block, so the blockers were not ready for Schobel to go right back to Saint.
Riggs guy with set point. Belted over. Centered again for Edie. Schobel tracks it down. He hits Saint and twisted out wide. The tool to win the first. UC Santa Barbara 1-0. As number 15 block was there, and then despite Pepperdine tying things at 23 late in that first set. UC Santa Barbara stayed poised and pulled out the win.
Yeah, and Ethan Saint leading the team with 5 kills. Cole Schobel, a lot of confidence in him, would go back to him even if he made an error, and he came out with that set-winning joust. And the Gauchos out-hitting Pepperdine in that first set.
We'll see which adjustments are made here with Ryan Barnett at the service line. Walmer the serve receive. Schobel hits Saints, and he picks up right where he left off.
And Ethan Saint now with over twice any other player in kills on this match. So he sits at 6. Pepperdine's Cole Hartke is next in line with 3.
Yeah. With 2 times as many kills as any player on the floor, he's also gotten tons of volume. Just so effective, and you wouldn't expect him to be the guy who gets the most volume for UC Santa Barbara. Maybe that's the reason why he's had so much success this evening as the Waves take it right back.
And that was Grant Lamoureux, 6'10", redshirt freshman on that pin.
First we've seen of Lamoureux this evening. Bruining skies high and drills one through the crease.
And again, that connection has been there for Schobel and Bruning. Played on the same club team, Balboa Bay, and then continued their connection for UCSB. So that's been something that has been good for a while.
Yeah, the chemistry built year over year. Schobel, this time looks to the center for the freshman Mikey Denver. What a stab by Walmer. Backdoor Bruning.
And that time Bruning going for the tip, but Lamoureux was there. Great hang time and read on that play from the Waves.
Helps when you're 6'10", the redshirt freshman kind of levitated to get a hand on that ball.
Great hustle from the Gauchos, but it was the strong serve from Hartke. Just a sophomore, but has been a leader on this team. He was originally recruited as an outside hitter, but now plays on the right side.
The ace for Hartke, his first of the evening. He now has an ace in every single match this season. Lamoureux.
So Lamoureux providing a spark for the Waves as they lead now in this second set.
Now, Grant Lamoureux placed 9th at the Beach World Championships in 2024. Katie, we know that's your specialty. How does that translate from outdoor on the sand to indoor on the hardwood?
Well, especially for Lamoureux at 6'10", it really makes you have a lot of ball control. So if you have the height and then you play beach volleyball, you learn how to do every skill. That's going to translate really well for him.
He's been effective not just this evening, but through his redshirt freshman season. Played just 1 set last match against UC Santa Barbara, but his success early on through this second set, gotta imagine he'll have a little bit more volume.
Ooh, and that was close, but just out on the end line. Another look here. And it'll be Riggs Guy, just a sophomore, but has been a staple for the Gauchos since he got here. And the overpass led to a kill from Mikey Denver. Also played with Ford Harmon at Santa Barbara High.
Oh, that's bullied home. William Whitten.
And a great connection. I love that set to get the middle involved. A perfect pass.
Same way we've started out the first. Quite a few ties in this one. 5-5 early on second set. Cross court for Saint, who swung free. Put enough power on that thing to punch it out.
And Saint just taking aggressive swings this time. He had a big two-person block in front of him and uses that.
Recognized the hands would be there, just unleashed full force and hoped that would sail a little long. Riggs guy sets it out of system.
And a great full team effort there, an amazing recovery from Riggs guy, and then Bruning with the put away.
So rare do we see an out-of-system play. Maybe that has something to do with how well Coach Schobel moves throughout the court. His lateral movement is insane.
Great dig.
That was Denver who got under it. Saint can't finish. Kept alive, now to the outside, and Barnett finds the donut hole.
And a good response there from Ryan Barnett, the redshirt senior and a leader for the Waves.
Little too long on the serve. Back to UCSB. Bruning, an all Big West honorable mention last season. Forced him out of system. Barnett. He's denied.
And there's that bunch read defense that Coach Jonathan Winder was referencing in their last matchup. UCSB trying to get 3 blockers on the ball every play. It pays off there.
Ryan Barnett is one of the most effective offensive players in Pepperdine history. Blocked by a 3-man weave that doesn't stack up in size per se. Hey, you can almost hear a pin drop in here. Nobody's quite sure what's going on between Coach Jonathan Winder and Tony Chan. Now, a meeting of minds. Again, Coach Rick McLaughlin with UC Santa Barbara recruited Coach Jonathan Winder to Pepperdine back in the day in 2004, 2005.
And Winder, just what an accomplished player. He was an NCAA champion, former National Player of the Year, a 4-time All-American, and he still holds the Pepperdine record in assists.
I think that caught a body. Snuck the arm of Jason Walmer. That's great. So often am I used to his brother Jack as well, who played here for a couple of years.
And the Waves have had such a strong connection with their middles. Props to the setter, Polamaz, out of Serbia.
Lifted high in the sky through the rafters. It stays alive. Polamaz back to the center. Riggs guy can't straighten things out.
And a great decision to set the back row on that play. No one up. And LaMurray with another kill. So LaMurray carrying a big load here in this second set after not playing in the first set.
It's the 9th service error of the evening for the Waves. Struggle to find that efficiency. No hitter over 3 kills this evening for Pepperdine to this point. Ethan Saint leads all players. He's now back to serve with 7 kills. Centered again, and a soft lip will do the trick.
And just the easy pat down from James Eddy, but it started with that pass. Jacob Riley has been phenomenal all night, controlling the serve receive.
Heck of a serve receive on an absolute laser beam. Bruining, unable to pop up the bullet.
And LaMurray now leading the Waves with 4 kills.
That's the efficiency Pepperdine needs. 4 of 5 on chances to tie things up at 10 here in the second. Bruining converts.
Great effort from Polamaz, but 2 out of bounds was that tool from Bruining. He is elevating at 6 foot 10 inches using that height. And here's Dylan Pilkvist, the freshman. Just one of 2 Pilkvists, a twin on the team.
Outside for LaMurray, deep seam and down.
And LaMurray is having success down the line, so really attacking that 1-6 seam in between the right back and the middle back.
Tied up at 11. That's Riggs Guy soaring high.
And that's what we're used to from Riggs Guy. He's up in the air waiting, and then the fast arm put down. He is so whippy, so hard to stop when the connection is there.
Cole Schobel steps into one. A bullet, deep seam. He just kissed the lip by the whiskers.
And it looked like no one wanted a piece of that heat. Schobel able to bring it in every category. Aces, kills, assists, digs. He's oftentimes leading his teams in multiple categories. And it looks like an over violation, so Barnett is in the back row. He cannot cross that 10-foot line. Another look here as he takes off in front of the 10-foot line.
Schobel in the midst of a 3-0 run. Tough serve to handle. Recycled back to the Waves. More recoil, but off to the right. And Cole Harkey ends the tool, and with that, a side out.
And the UCSB block was moving pin to pin, doing a great job, but smart decision from Harkey to use those hands of Riggs Guy, not fully pressed into the court.
Steamer picked up from Walmer. Outside for Guy in a nifty, patient play.
And that's when you know Riggs Guy is in his mode, when he takes a set that's well off the net and makes it look so easy to get a kill.
Guy is there as the rover. Schobel to Saint. Down the line, it missed just a bit wide.
And that was a phenomenal swing. Great look there, but just a little too sharp. He saw that opening down the line.
LaMurray into the net.
And you mentioned, Max, that LaMurray was big in beach volleyball, and it's amazing because he helped start his indoor volleyball program at his high school. So before he started playing, there was no indoor program.
Yeah, sometimes one avenue leads to another, and you know, I think that's a lot of the time what coaches at this level are looking for, right? Not just great talent, but also great competitors who want to be visionaries in their own community.
Yeah, he found a way to get that sport some visibility and earned his way to Pepperdine, and a big block there, so some momentum changing for the Waves.
Another big block that time. Polamaz there in the center of it.
And it looks like Zach Chapin will sub in, the redshirt freshman.
Manhattan Beach native. Spent his time at Miracosta High School. Pepperdine within one. Gauchos took that first set 25-23. It was tight. Here we are in another tight second. Riggs guy missed it long, and we're tied at 16.
And an interesting swing. It looked like he went for high hands, but Rick McLaughlin will call a timeout.
Well, Pepperdine has found its first lead of the second set. Hot shot from George Bruining. We're back to even.
And George has been steady tonight. A great connection, whether he's front row or back row, and a much needed side out for the Gauchos.
Bruining trying to build on this momentum. The 6'10" redshirt sophomore into his movement.
Wow, great follow from Riggs guy. That was just barely out of bounds. A good play from Polomaz as he was very tight to the net.
And we didn't see it right there, but it was half a rotation off that line. Boy, it was close. Bruining picks it up. Schobel hits Saint. Sharp angle, popped up high. The joust won by the forearms of Ethan Saint.
Oh, and the Gauchos want that one back. A three-person block. They did a great job defensively setting it up at the net. And then that ball falls short in front of Riggs Sky.
18-18.
And a rare miss out of Polomaz. He was going for the short serve there.
Polomaz, the Serbian native, comes over after 2 seasons with the Mastodons of Purdue Fort Wayne. He's one of many international players on this Pepperdine roster. Polomaz outside for Harkey. Walmer with all the hustle. Kicks to his feet, and Pepperdine ties things up again.
And look at this hustle from Walmer. We felt the vibration of that attack of the bench. He was aggressive in his pursuit.
Aggressive is right. Walmer there. Schobel tracks to it. Riggs Guy. That's popped up off the net. Now Guy tries to place yellow light.
Ooh, and that's a big, big break for the Gauchos on a scramble to keep that ball alive. And LaMoret just goes long on that attack. But big props to the Gauchos getting 3 blockers up in that scramble rally.
First attacking error for LaMoret this evening.
And that's going to be a big break for the Waves, as we are tied up 20 all. Aiden Toon checking in, serving specialist out of Honolulu, Hawaii.
Provided some good minutes in that first set as a serving specialist. Toon, his first minutes now in the second. Comes in during crunch time. Riggs Guy, near perfect serve receive.
Wow, what a swing from Mikey Denver. He has been so aggressive, trying to be available at any moment, and this was a big moment for him. The kill to get the Gauchos up by 1 late in the second set.
Denver and the Gauchos 21-20. Now it's Cole Schobel. Schobel, Saint,
wow.
A shot, deep line.
And that was a complete dart to the floor from Saint, as the Gauchos have all the momentum right now. The Waves are going to take a second to let it sizzle. Point in the second set. and they let that one slip. So this is a big moment for the Gauchos as they look to seal it 2-0.
If you give the Waves any breathing room, they'll run with it. Lamoureux cracks the hands. Schobel backdoor. It's Bruining.
And Rick Olmsted almost caught in that mix.
Had to dodge the ball there. Bruining cocks back and levels it.
And a big swing for Bruining. That's his 8th kill of the night. And he has been there when the Gauchos need him, elevating and using hands to get that tool.
Schobel remains back there for UC Santa Barbara. Free ball comes on over. Walmer perfectly in system. Bruining! That is authoritative.
Try to slow the momentum of the Gauchos.
I'm staying right here. After a play like that, we got to talk about it. George Bruining with some easy. Credit to Cole Schobel for dotting the I to that right arm of George Bruining. Gauchos are grooving through the bruiser, George Bruining. Cole Schobel's been back there the whole time during this run.
Schobel has been putting the heat on this serve, making it tough for the Waves.
Lamoureux nearly denied, kept alive through Guy, now Bruining to end it. He can't finish, recycled through, it's Guy. Now the Waves with a chance to stay alive. Both Saint and Walmer were there, but the kill for Pepperdine looked like Cole Hartke there on the kill. A huge piece.
And great effort there, Walmer covering so much of the court, but that time unable to control the high hands kill from Hartke.
Hartke and company looking to battle back right now. No breathing room. 3 more set points for UC Santa Barbara if it comes to it. The sophomore out of Barrington, Illinois. Walmer, another perfect serve receive for Saint, who drills it through the seam. And UC Santa Barbara has a 2-set lead over
an MPSF title last year. They are a strong program, but they still are young. Jonathan Winder, their head coach, was saying they're still figuring out that culture, that chemistry, and this is going to be a big test for them as they are down 0-2 away from home in a rematch situation.
Hostile environment. How do you respond? Well, we will see Dylan Pilkvist get things underway here in the third. Hartke pokes it over free. Schobel twists into one.
And another great attack from Schobel. He has been unstoppable. Another look here, the perfect pass, and then he winds up and swings away. And that's something different from most setters, is Cole Schobel does a full wind up and arm swing. He's not just tipping the ball over.
Yeah, some setters with that misdirection dump. Schobel, he electrifies once again.
Wow, Schobel taking things in his own hands. That's the 5th kill on 5 attempts.
Well on his way to a double-double. Schobel and the Gauchos with the first 2 points in the 3rd. Harkey hits high hands. Schobel looking for Bruining, who has to adjust midair. Does a nice job forcing the waves out of system. Harkey to Saint, who pops it sky high. Now Bruining on the back row crease.
Wow, and that was the perfect set from Schobel, perfectly leading Bruining over that 10-foot line. And Bruining so consistent tonight, the connection has been there.
Number 15, UC Santa Barbara. Number 6, Pepperdine, a top 15 matchup. Harkey fired up.
And that time, Harkey taking advantage of Schobel down the line. It wasn't a well-formed block, and Harkey, much taller than Schobel, able to overpower at the net.
Now, if the Gauchos were to hold on, it would be their marquee win this season. Have yet to beat a top 10 ranked team. Bruining keeps moving the Gauchos in the right direction.
And Bruining hitting over 500 right now. This is one of the most consistent nights for him.
Gives you a sense of the growth of this Gaucho team over the course of the year. And remember, a week from tonight, number 1 UCLA comes to town. Oh, another ace for UCSB. All things fall in the way of the Gauchos.
And there it is, Schobel again. So he is really sparking the Gauchos in this 3rd set. They are not letting their foot off the gas pedal.
5-1, UC Santa Barbara. Schobel.
And here's James Eady, the redshirt junior.
Bruining is denied. Blocked by Ethan Watson.
And Pepperdine is bringing a lot of energy on the floor right now. They know this is a must-win set, and they're trying to fire each other up.
Gotta find something to kick it into gear. Saint.
And Ethan Saint just unstoppable. That time from the back row, he runs a quick set, and he's able to beat the block, find a seam in that 3-person block.
Now one of 2 Gauchos in double figures. Both he and George Bruining have reached the 10-point mark. Bruining tried to catch him off guard. That caught the antenna.
And that swing hitting the antenna.
All-American Cole Harkey pleading his case. Just getting an explanation from up referee Rick Olmstead. Harkey. Quite enough power, Katie.
Yeah, Harkey is so good at going high hands and overpowering the ball. He's 6'11" so he's taller than Bruining. He's the tallest player on the floor right now, and he's being smart and using his height.
Blocked again. That time it was Polas.
And Polamos very technical with his blocking. Anytime someone tries to get tricky and tool him, he has that right hand peeled back into the court.
Harkey, who had a near triple-double against number 9 Lewis in late January, He came up short from the service line.
And it will be Mikey Denver, the redshirt freshman, a Santa Barbara native, and he has been impressive on the attack tonight, but also on his defense. He has been steady at keeping the ball alive.
Ethan Watson punches one through.
Another look here, Watson getting one of his first sets of the match. Posted down.
Brings us to Ryan Barnett.
And Barnett shows his power, his precision from the service line.
Pepperdine has won 4 of the last 5 points. The 5th-year Barnett into his motion. Smooth serve receive on the give and go. Popped back up by Harkey. Gomez caught hands and the Gauchos there to cover ground. Pinballed and it's made its way over. Bruining high line, a diving stab that time from Jacob Riley. Yellow light cut and
Harkey barely stepped over that 10-foot line, but the Waves are saying that they do not believe he was over, so it may be a challenge here. Another look, it does look like he took off behind that 10-foot line, so there will be a challenge.
Well, on that replay, it looked clear as day in real time. Maybe if we slow things down, it'll be a little tighter of a call, but right now it does look like this call might get overturned. Let's watch it once more.
Yeah, looks like his foot was clearly behind that 10-foot line. It's often so hard to tell in real time because these players jump so far. Once they take off from behind the 10-foot line, they land exactly at the net. So it's hard to see in real time, but it does look like this point is going to go to a replay situation, and the challenge will be successful.
And it was a pretty quick decision made by down referee Tony Chan. You know, what we didn't see here on the stream is that replay went up in the video board, and all of the Pepperdine players had a really good look that did not result in a back row attack, which also allowed nearly a free challenge for Coach Jonathan Winder. So a replay point here.
So Ryan Barnett, the redshirt senior, held team high kills last season.
You know, more on UC Santa Barbara as you see associate head coach Blaine Nielsen kind of chatting things over with Rick McLaughlin. You know, a lot of the staff, and frankly, all of the staff members on the Gauchos teams are former players of Coach Rick McLaughlin. They have a culture that has just stuck. This Gaucho team, they haven't found that signature win. Right now, that win comes against number 14 Stanford, but UCSB would love this win against number 6 Pepperdine, kind of signify, hey, we're not a team to be messed with heading into conference play, which starts in just a couple of weeks.
And they've had a lot of tight matches with the volleyball world, but there's an ace.
Pepperdine, but this third set, neither side has gained an inch. That's been the story of the evening. To this point, we have had 17 tie scores through these 2.5 sets and you look at how this Pepperdine team is playing. There's all the grit in the world. All they need is to pick up this third and a little bit of momentum, and no doubt in my mind they can send us to a 5th as well.
Yeah, and the strong serving from Ryan Barnett comes to an end, but he's at 3 aces, which is tying his 3 aces in this last matchup with UCSB.
Hot shot on the outside.
And Cole Hartke from the back row, just a little bit too much. And we see him trying to fire up his squad. Maybe that time trying a little too much on the power. The stuff block from Dylan Pilkvis and Ethan Saint, shutting down Hartke on the right side.
Oh, straight out of the timeout break, and UC Santa Barbara has 3 points in a row. The Gauchos now build that momentum, and you see Pepperdine backs to the wall. This is a team with 4 All-Americans, but right now, UCSB utilizing that home court advantage to the most of its ability.
And you can see Rick McLaughlin talking to the players, describing the game plan, and this is a team that looks like they really studied that last matchup and made some big changes. His players.
Yeah, you know, sometimes, it's a great point you make. Sometimes you see the coaches strategizing on the side. It's a totally different timeout set. But here on the Pepperdine bench, it's a similar story. Some wise words and a little motivation. And during this timeout break, as UCSB has a 3-point lead in the third set in search of the sweep over a top 10 team. Pepperdine makes its way quickly back onto the floor after the breather. And the Gauchos look to keep things rolling, 3 straight points. Back at the line, George Bruining remains. Bruining entered as one of the top recruits in the country, if I remember correctly, #1. This was a couple of years back. Now in his 3rd season with the Gauchos, he has restored faith in this program as to what it means to be a leader. He is the true quarterback, despite going into the net there.
And here's Ethan Watson out of Sunnyvale, California.
Ethan Saint, who's had effectiveness this evening, but Barnett saves it. Hartke, nice spot.
And Hartke with a smart decision there, kind of that yellow light swing that we talk about, not particularly in system, but just finds a good spot on the court.
Ethan Watson.
And George Bruining looking for a touch, and it looks like Rick Olmstead, up referee, found one. Another look here, and that ball contacted so high, it's hard to see the touch, so good eye from the referee.
Yet no challenge there. Gauchos by 2. Gomez,
wow.
He is stuffed. A total roof for Cole Schobel.
And the solo block from Cole Schobel. Watch his hands. He sees that player's going in the angle, and Schobel moves and dives into that seam. Great heads-up play.
Saint sends it wide. Waves within 2. Back to serve the junior setter, Andre Polomaz. The Serbian pieced together a double-double in that last game against UC Santa Barbara. 49 assists, 11 digs. Bruining.
And Bruining, that is coming from the back row, but it really does look like he's hitting from the front row. He skies over that 10-foot line and puts away the kill.
That brings Dylan Pilkvis back there. Hartke hits high hands. Saint got there in time. Bruining. And it makes its way over. Gauchos on the move. This is Bruining.
block from James Eady. Look at that press as he works hard to get to that pin. And in comes Ford Harmon for Jose Gomez. And Harmon with a lot of fans in the stands as he's returning home out of Santa Barbara High, who's a CIF champion.
Homecoming for the redshirt freshman. Poked right back where it came from. James Eady with another point for the Waves of Pepperdine. Shining on the defensive end. And the Waves are within one.
Yeah, great read, great delay from Eady. Very smart and tactical as a blocker. Looks like a net violation on the Wave, so a break for the Gauchos. The Waves easily handled that play over the net.
Riggs guy hits Bruning, tried to muscle it home, but the muscle came from Pepperdine.
And great blocking here from the Waves that's really changed the momentum in this third set. Good hustle play from Schobel.
Nice work from Ryan Barnett to identify where that was going. Riggs guy unleashes. Watson, no dice. Bruning, he uncorks deep to the corner, and Eady can't handle it.
Wow, and props to Ethan Saint. He is playing such good deep defense, getting all of those touches off the block, and then Bruning able to find the kill.
Just beyond the halfway point in this third set. Hit the hands, Walmer, Schobel, centered for Guy.
And
rinky-dink stuff, Katie.
The textbook waterfall tip from Riggs Guy. He plays with some grace. Look at that. Big windup and then just over the top.
The finesse of a gazelle. Riggs Guy back at the line. Heck of a swing that time from Barnett. He takes matters into his own hands and earns the sign out.
And that's a big point for the Waves. Great high hit from Barnett.
Overcomes that ruining block.
Home, protecting that big, that back row attack, and it pays off. Wow, incredible windup on that serve, and an ace for Cole Hartke. Another look at that perfect line shot.
At 17, we're tied. Cole Hartke, the All-American. Pepperdine.
Jonathan Winder before the match, and he said, you know, we really come alive with our serving and our blocking, and that's what we've been seeing in this third set. Their block has changed the momentum.
It starts with the defense, and it starts with Cole Hartke. Saint unleashes a ball corner pocket.
And Saint just so whippy with that arm swing. He's very hard to read. And when it's a connection, he finds that dart, that fast swing to the perfect spot.
Now Mikey Denver who floats it over. Out to the All-American, poked back where it came from. Recycled to the other end. Harkey belts it through.
And Harkey with another high, fast swing, that time aimed at Mikey Denver, who is the middle blocker. This is his only rotation in on defense, so good placement from Harkey.
Ryan Barnett at the line. Bruning caught the fingertips and kept alive by Jacob Riley. Harkey well over high hands.
What a dig from Jacob Riley there to keep that ball alive, but Harkey unable to find that touch on the block that he's been so good at. And we are all tied up in this third set.
Bruning with it here.
And able to sneak that tip through for a much needed side out for the Waves.
For Harmon, just his second career kill. Back to serve. Zach Chapin went on quite the run last time he was back there. This time his first serve results in a side out as we're back to even.
And it'll be Ethan Saint, who has been phenomenal tonight.
Saint having quite the evening.
And
missed the line long, yeah.
Just barely out, so good eye from the Waves.
Here's the setter, Andre Polomaz. Popped up as Schobel tracks it down. Bumped high for Bruning, who skies deep and caught it.
And that's an amazing swing on a very out-of-system set. That ball coming from behind him, and he's able to just kiss that end line. I love the aggressive attack from Bruning.
The essence of that second set when each team went blow for about 10 points in a row. Tied up at 21. Here's Pilkvist. Harkey over the three-man block, and Schobel uncorked to the center.
And I believe that's Schobel's sixth kill.
Gauchos took the first couple of sets in some tight windows. Here they are with another close matchup. Dylan Pilkvist at the line. Harkey, they need one, unable to finish. Back to Harkey. Got the shoulder opening. Saint is there. Riggs guy rolls it over free. The All-American Barnett, a finesse touch, pancake dig, breakfast is served. That's Bruin a bruiser.
Wow, and a full team effort, but Dylan Pilkvist playing phenomenal defense. He's a middle blocker, does not play a lot in the backcourt, and a pancake dig to keep that ball alive. And that is what is going to be reviewed right now. So the Waves challenging, saying that ball hit the floor. In order for this call to remain, Dylan Pilkvist needs to make sure that none of that ball hit the floor, that it was only on his hand.
Remember, we need definitive evidence. And that is close. It sure is close. I do not envy Tony Chan making this call right here, the down referee.
And regardless, it was just phenomenal full team effort from the shoulder dig from George
And Pepperdine, through the decision of down referee Tony Chan, ties things up at 22.
And we may come back to that play as a major shift in how this match ends up.
Roughly an hour and a half after first serve.
He has been so efficient tonight, the tight pass, and he does magic with it.
Hitting 67%. The setter with a chance to give the Gauchos match point. Back to even now, 23.
And it will be Aiden Toon in for the Waves. He's the redshirt junior, went to Punahou, where his dad, Rick Toon, is the head coach, and his dad played at Hawaii and Pepperdine, so following in his dad's footsteps.
The legacy, Aiden Toon. Walmer, a nice serve receive. They set up Riggs Guy, who buried the tool wide for match point Santa Barbara.
And Riggs Guy, so smart, this time on the right side, and he's able to see the gap in the block and use that to his advantage.
Number 15 UCSB with match point on number 6 Pepperdine. Riggs Guy at the controls. Caught the tip and dug up high. Outside for the All-American Barnett. A net violation against the Gauchos. And we're tied at 24.
And that was a crucial play right there. That was an opportunity for the Gauchos to control that dig. But it will be Cole Hartke who leads the Waves in kills tonight.
Bruining.
Wow.
Match point once more. So he makes a mistake. They deliver out to the outside for him, and he takes advantage of it.
And look at that set from Schobel. That is so hard to do. All of his momentum is going the other way. He makes a perfect back set to Bruning, and it'll be Mikey Denver, the redshirt freshman.
Punched back by Ethan Saint. Barnett. Roll shot. Pinballed back over. Hartke-nied. It stays and recycled through. Gauchos on the move to put an end to it here. Bruning unable to do it on that swing. Popped up again, covering ground. Saint unable to finish with Jacob Riley digging it up. That's long! The Gauchos knock off number 6 Pepperdine.
I believe he's challenging the lift that was in the middle of that rally. He believes it should be a lift. It was kind of a pinball play here, right in the middle. Mikey Denver popped it up, and I believe Bruning made a motion, and that will be a challenge.
We already saw, Katie, we already saw what looked like a set point for UCSB be overturned to a tie game on a challenge. And Jonathan Winder has been successful on all 3 challenges to this point. This is his 4th of the evening.
And it looks like he's actually challenging is 4 touches. So in that pinball moment that the Gauchos had on defense, he is claiming that they had 4 players touch it before it went back over the net.
That was a heck of a rally there.
It's hard to find the specific play that is being challenged.
Tony Chan will have to look through, what, a 30-second rally at that point.
This could be a lengthy challenge.
UC Santa Barbara in search of the sweep against number 6 Pepperdine, and the Waves have yet to be...
Here is the rally, sorry, Max, that they are looking at for 4 contacts.
It's a great catch, Katie. Let's watch it once more. This is Paramount.
but I think
Did they both get it?
did Dylan Pilkvist and Ethan both touch it. I don't know if they have an angle to view that.
Now, pinball is the right word for it, I tell you. Pepperdine has yet to be swept this season. Their lone losses against number 5 UC Irvine and number 2 Long Beach State. Right now, number 15 UC Santa Barbara.
Also, what a dig from Mikey Denver.
And on that look, it looks like Ethan Saint didn't get his hands on it, which would mean UC Santa Barbara would hold on with this win.
And the reaction on either side is going to be intense as all the teams look at the screen.
All the fate in the hands of Tony Chan and the officiating crew. Both teams are waiting anxiously, and the fans on their feet for a match point decided by a challenge on
And
the
it
side of
looks like
Pepperdine.
there has been a decision here.
Tony Chan has a look. It's Gaucho point, and Santa Barbara wins. Number 15, UC Santa Barbara, pulls off the sweep against number 6 Pepperdine. An upset win as the Gauchos protect their home floor in the Thunderdome.